Why did you acquire Siemens Security Products?
Well, Siemens Security Products was very complementary to our U.S. Vanderbilt business, which have very similar channels to market and product categories, but we didn't have any coverage in the European market. So adding Europe to our North America-based Vanderbilt was an extremely good positioning for us going forward.
How will you integrate Siemens Security Products to Vanderbilt?
Well, unlike many acquisitions that occur and that I've had experience with, this was more of a separation than an integration. Because Vanderbilt didn't have a business here in Europe, it was more about separating the business from Siemens and putting in some corporate infrastructure here in Europe than integrating into an existing European business. So the only integration will be where there's some small overlap in products.
You will not be able to keep the Siemens brand. How will you build your own brand?
Well, you're right, and that's a big challenge for us. But Vanderbilt has a brand that we began to build 2 years ago in the North American market, and it's associated with quality products and a lot of deep knowledge and experience in the industry. So we'll invest to get the message out there in the marketplace that the management team, the technology, the experience level are all the same. It was just a new name associated with a new owner. So we'll use all the usual ways of trade shows, advertising, and other ways to get that message across in the marketplace.
What is the difference between the American market and the European market?
Well, there's a lot of similarities, but there are differences. First of all, the customer requirements are generally the same. A couple of the key differences are, of course, Europe is a much more diverse range of cultures and languages, and we have to adapt our products to those. There's also, and particularly in the intrusion market, a greater variety of product certifications and approvals that we have to get in order to be able to do business in each of those countries. Those are the primary differences as we see them.
Are you looking for further acquisitions?
Well, we're an acquisitive company, and of course we will always be on the lookout for other acquisitions that might strategically fit and be available at a good valuation.
What's the top trend of the security industry today?
Well, the technology trend, I think that's been happening for a while and we'll continue to see, of the most important is the whole movement toward IP-based technology. So whether it's IP cameras that have been around now for many years, or offline and online IP-based locks, or single-door controllers, or IP as the main communication protocol for intrusion alarm systems. This is probably one of the biggest trends that will continue to influence the industry.
What's your view on the Internet of Things?
Clearly, there's a lot of customer, particularly in the residential area, but also in small to medium commercial, that want to connect devices to a centralized control means, and whether that's through the security system, as is often the case, or building automation or whatnot. This will be an important trend to follow and make sure we have the tools to enable customers to do that.
What is your biggest challenge as a company?
Well, you've already mentioned the brand, and I think that's probably the biggest challenge. I mean, we're not worried about building a brand name. We've done it before, and again, we have the resources to invest in that. But Siemens is a well-known brand. Vanderbilt is not so well-known, so that, I think, remains our biggest challenge as we go forward with Vanderbilt in the future.